Everybody, welcome to another edition here at Sportsman's Warehouse in Columbia, South Carolina. We got Barry from the fishing department with us, and we've got some baits here today as we transition into the heat of the summer, where you got to go a little bit deeper. You got to change up your patterns to what we've been used to doing all spring. Barry's got some good examples of what you need to have with you as we make this transition into the summertime.
Absolutely. I'm going to start out first and foremost with a crankbait. I love throwing a crankbait myself. You can cover a lot of water with it, and it'll catch the gamut of fish. You know, to catch some small fish, but it'll also catch the big ones that are out there. Got a couple representations here of a good, solid crankbait. One of my favorite out there is the new Strike King XD series. This is a 6XD bait. You know, on the package, it's marked to dive up to about 17 feet of water. I actually run this on 10-pound test line and consistently get it down to 20 feet of water without a problem. Very, very, very sharp hooks on this. Great finishes, great paint jobs on them. Another tried and true that I know you're familiar with, and most everybody out there who's ever thrown a crankbait has thrown a Norman crankbait. This one is a DD22. You know, probably one of the most storied deep diving crankbaits on the market. Again, a very sharp hook. Another bait that on 10-pound test line will run 20 to 22 feet deep consistently. Tracks good, runs good, good paint jobs. And of course, everybody has heard of the fat-free shad, you know, now put out by Bomber. Another bait that'll run in at a 17 to 20 foot depth, depending on the line you put on. If you want to shallow it up and really grind a deep diving crankbait across a shallow point, you know, throw this thing on 15-pound test line and you can drag it across, you know, 10-foot points and really grind it in the bottom. Really seems to get a good trigger out of them. One that you don't see a lot of people do in the summer that I love to throw personally is a big, heavy spinnerbait. Not a lot of guys do it around here. This one in particular is a Strike King Bottom Dweller. It's a 1-ounce spinnerbait. This has the razor blades on it. They're a little thinner, so you're going to get a lot less lift, so it's going to be easier to keep that bait on the bottom. Really, really good range of colors. This in particular is a brim color. They have a gamakatsu hook on them, so it's incredibly sticky sharp. Something that not a lot of guys do that they might want to consider. Fish Absolutely. Don't see a lot of that down there. Another one of my favorites is a football head jig. This in particular is a PJ's. This is a 3/4 ounce bait. I generally won't go any lighter than a 1/2 ounce depending on how deep I'm fishing. I prefer a 3/4 ounce. I can really stay in contact with the bottom. And you can use these in unison. You know, use the crankbait to find those schools of fish. Use your jig to go through and really concentrate on the school itself. Tip that with a creature bait, beaver bait, you know, a twin tail grub, something like that to add a little bit of life to it. Very, very good, very effective bait. And then we're going to go to a big soft plastic. This one in particular is a 12-inch power worm. I'm going to be honest with you, John, a lot of guys throw 10-inch worms, and we all know that you catch a bunch of 1-pound peanuts on 10-inch worms. Been doing a lot of playing with big baits the last couple years, and I won't throw a worm smaller than 12 inches anymore. There's some companies out there making them up to 19 inches, believe it or not. Not that you see a bunch of them laying around the house, but that 12-inch worm right there, you Texas rig it, you Carolina rig it. Some guys are starting to put them on big, shaky heads. Very effective in deep water, and that big worm will get you the big bite.
Well, that's good stuff as we move into the heat of the summer. Barry, always good seeing you. Folks, don't forget, you can access all these products online at www.sportsmanswarehouse.com, and we'll see you next week.